Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here with your weekly trade example for the week ending August the 30th of 2013. I think a lot of you are already familiar with our recurring Forex patterns course that produced by myself and Shirley Hudson and released in early 2012. One of the distinguishing features of that course and of those patterns is that it not only shows you how to trade several different proven patterns, but it's also extremely good in helping to identify exactly where you might expect turning points in the market. Like when you get in tune with a currency pair, you can have all these levels figured out well in advance so that you're ready for them. And for today's example, I was thinking about what to put out, and I was chatting with Shirley. She suggested that I illustrate the fact that when you get out of a trade for a profit, stay alert, because it's very likely that if you've picked a good level to exit your trade, then there's another, probably another trade about to begin. Like we say that when one trade ends, another trade begins. So you could be taking quite a few high odds setups. Now, that approach may or may not be suitable for you. Everybody's different risk tolerances, different time availability for trading and all that. But for example, you may only want to align your trading with the daily trend bias, and that's perfectly fine. But I can tell you that there are a lot more pips to be gained if you learn to identify where there are multiple high probability setups. At the very least, it'll help you with your exit strategies on your existing trading approach. Okay, but I can tell you this, Shirley is a very active trader, more active than most, and the reason that she's been able to average over like 3,000 pips per month average, and that's this year's stats, is because she is a more active trader. She takes setups both ways. You certainly do not have to be doing that. Maybe it's not suitable for you. Okay, and I'm not saying you're going to get those kind of results either, but obviously paying attention to high probability turning points would be beneficial no matter how you're doing this. Okay, this is the New Zealand US dollar pair, and I'm going to show you just in the last not even 24 hours what I'm talking about here. And things don't set up like this all the time, but more often you would imagine they do. And there was a lot of trades in here just using the patterns. First of all, this is the Asia Singapore session right down here. That's the beginning of it. This level down here was a pattern number 3 with a noble entry buy, exactly as we show in the course. And this level, if you look at a 4-hour chart, the entry was right here. Do you think that was an expected level of possible support? See how price reacted off of this before? Here, it reacted here, and here we are again. This time, though, it's setting up pattern number 4. Pattern number 3, pardon me. By the way, pattern 3 and pattern 4 are just about identical, so you can use them interchangeably. Next, what does it do? It rallies up to where? The London Open. Listen, opens and closes of markets like Asia, London, New York are good times to be looking for trades. Things happen around opens and closes. Okay, goes up into the London Open, sets up a pattern 4 with a noble entry sell at 77.91. If you look at the hourly chart, this used to be support. It then becomes resistance. Okay, I've talked about that lots and lots of other weekly trade examples. Support becomes resistance, and it was a pattern, so at the same place. Not only that, it was also a 3-hour MOF trade. MOFs and slingshots are another great setup that we teach in the Coach's Corner that are really, really good for confirming these patterns. You'll find them quite a bit. But there's a lot more patterns available than just the MOFs and slingshots, but they're great for confirming for sure. In any event, 3-hour MOF trade right here, but it was a pattern number 4 noble entry sell. Down into here, what's this? Now we have see this divergence, prices going lower, MACD's going higher. This is at an expected level of support. We just saw that on the 4-hour chart. This is our pattern number 5 buy right down in here. Okay, it was also a pattern number 4. So you'll find too that these patterns set up together quite often, and it was at the 50 level. The 50s and the figure levels, the even numbers, are very important to watch. They're really good. Next, what does it do? It rallies up. So there was like close to 30 pips available just in that little move. And it rallied up to this level in here, which was another pattern number 4 sell up in here. Okay, this was also a 45-minute MOF trade for a sell. Okay, then it drops down here you wouldn't believe it. It came right down to this level right down here was an absolutely perfect pattern number 3, and it happened at the London close time window. And when these patterns set up in the London close time window, it gives it even more strength. It wasn't actually a qualified London close trade for other reasons, but just they still react just about always. This trade, to be honest with you, happened a little bit later on in the London close time window, so it's a trade that you might want to pass on because normally the activity level at this time of the day drops considerably, especially considering that it's Friday and getting later in the day. So this day, by the way, is August 30th in here. Now, I'm certainly not saying that most people are going to be taking all these trades up and down like this, okay? So don't get me wrong, because they're not. Maybe you only want to trade in alignment with the daily trend bias, and that is fine for sure. You would take a short here, and you would take a short here, because the daily trend bias right now on the New Zealand US dollar pair is down. So you could just consider short trades, okay? Which would be just excellent. But I just wanted to point out how incredibly helpful these patterns can be no matter how you trade, right? And just so you know, if you have the RFP course, you can subscribe very inexpensively to our RFP daily trade review service. Shirley and I go over the trade setups on several currency pairs 4 days a week during all these sessions: Asia, Singapore, London, and New York. So no matter where you live, you can definitely benefit by using these patterns in the time zone where you live. Okay. Anyway, hope that helps you guys. Hey, you guys have a great weekend ahead, and hope your trading goes well next week. And I'll be back at the end of next week with another weekly trade example. Thanks so much.